What's going on, everybody? Afflicted Gamer here, back with another Division video. It's Friday, it's time for the weekly vendor reset, so I will be going from place to place, easy checkpoint to checkpoint, to find out what the best items are for sale this week in the Division, to save you guys the time and the trouble. So, if the video is helpful in any way, shape, or form, please drop it a like, it's much appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more Division content, and like I said before, I do put these out every single Friday. Now, double check the terminal, because if you do own one blueprint, it will go across all characters. We have an RPK. There will be another weapon here. I obviously own it. We've got firearms knee pads, firearms vests, and a quick release mag. So any other stamina mods, firearms mods, etc., I have them already. And if you guys are interested in getting those, just double check that vendor. Alright, the exotics for the week. Remember that when next month rolls around, these exotics will stay here. They will no longer be out in the loot pool. Thank God for that. So if you do see something with a very good roll on it, I do recommend you pick it up if it's something that you want. So, alright, the pecan this week has capable, sustained, and pecan. I'm going to pass on that. The Liberator, 23% enemy armor damage, talented, capable, and deadly. You could use this with a skill build if you want to. Get rid of capable for something else, optimize it, and you're good to go. The enemy armor damage is already quite good on it, so it's just the score that is low. Alright, the Centurion, well, and the base damage, depending on your firearms numbers. Centurion, expert, and determined. Well, there you go. You can just have yourself a skill build set up with the Free Republic talents, with the 2 combo there. Alright, Historian, 170% headshot damage. Wow. Harmful, toxic, history repeats. Not great, not bad. That is personal preference. Leave that one up to you guys. Cassidy, 348% stagger with accurate, deadly, and boomstick. Get rid of accurate if you don't like it for something else. You have yourself a decent Cassidy. MP5SC, is this going to be good? Vicious, ferocious, dominant. 20% crit hit chance. Alright, this is a bit of a, if you really want it because you don't have the house, reroll dominant, it is in the free slot, and get yourself a decent MP5SC for PvE. Alright, what else do we have here? This stuff, for those of you that may be seeing this for the very first time, a lot of this gets put in as gear unless it's a very good normal piece of gear. Because some people still do want to see this stuff to complete builds and whatnot. So I do show this stuff off here and also at Camp Clinton. Now, so far, there's actually nothing this week. And also, don't forget, next week we have Global Event Ambush, so we will have even more gear sets coming. Sentry Call Gloves, SMG damage, crit hit damage, enemy armor damage, 1227 firearms. If you don't have the classified version, you're not having any luck, then you could pick these up if you really want to, but honestly, wait until the global events are done before you go ahead and try to get your hands on some striker gloves. To be completely honest, things are going to be changing soon anyways, but if you're desperate, pick them up. Other than that, anything else down here? Nope. It's not a terrible electronics mod if you don't have the blueprint and credits to waste, or you have bad luck with crafting. You could pick that up, but it is not the greatest. It's just barely over 250. Okay, let's move on. Alright, thanks, man. Upstairs in the base of operations at the gear vendor, there's an okay stamina mod for sale here with skill haste on it. So if you are new to the division, I would go ahead and pick a few of these up. Again, especially if you don't have the blueprint. 257, almost at 260, and 3% skill haste. I know it's middle tier, but for some people this will be useful.
You'll be back one of these days.
I'll see you next Friday for sure. It's a date. Alright, if you make your way down to Camp Clinton, there are 2 items for sale here. First up at the weapons vendor is a small grip, 19% crit hit damage. That is pretty good, pretty high. Reload speed, 4.5%, and optimal range, 4.5% again. Honestly, I would pick a few of those up and throw them on your weapons, SMGs, assault rifles. That is pretty decent small grip. Over at the gear vendor, again, we've got a really good Relentless Backpack. So both vendors have something for sale here. 1257 electronics, over 12,000 skill power, burn resist in the miner. Keep it, reroll that for ammo capacity. The choice is yours. Optimize it a little bit, and you have a great Relentless Backpack. Honestly, for skill builds, I always found this to be one of the most helpful and useful pieces of gear to wear, where you could use seeker mines, sticky bomb, turrets. Either way, you don't have to use a form of a healing skill, and you can use 2 damage skills because you'll get your healing back from using them by wearing this backpack. At the Cavern Safe House, for those of you that are a fan of the Damage to Elites mods, you are in luck this week yet again. 190 stamina and 3% damage to elites. Pick them up while they are here and available. Now up at Camp Clinton, again at the Blueprints vendor. It looks like I own everything other than the Firearms Gloves and Electronics Mask. So unfortunately, double check this guy to see what he has for sale. Moving over to the Special Equipment vendor. The exotics honestly are not that great. I got a chance to check them out on my PC account, except for the Cassidy, again, is not too bad. The score is a bit low. The stagger is not too bad, but responsive and brutal are on it. You can keep brutal or reroll it if you want to, for those of you that like to run the double Cassidys. And then when we scroll down to the gear, there were a couple of, well, filler pieces if you need them because you don't have the classified versions. Striker knee pads, 1239 firearms, over 15,000 health, burn resist, bleed resist, blind death resist, not bad at all. D3 FNC knee pads, 1270 stamina, 6.5% exotic damage resilience. I would reroll that for health personally. Then you've got damage to elites, bleed resist, and shock resist for a regular pair of defense knee pads. Those are pretty good. Nimble holster, you would have to optimize the crap out of this, but if you are still a fan of Nimble, you really want to, pick it up just for the hell of it. I'm just kidding. Alright, Gloves of the Nomad. You could bump up that firearms number if you don't already have the classified version, especially if this GE is treating you like it is me. Still need my holster on PC. Besides the point, other than that, these are good. Honestly, I would just wait until the global event is over. If you didn't get a pair of gloves, then come back and check these out. And finally, extended mag, 119.5% mag size, 4% crit damage, and 4.8% rate of fire. Too bad the rate of fire wasn't a little bit higher, but honestly, this is a pretty damn good extended mag. I would pick a few of these up for sure and throw them on your weapons.
When you're ready to buy, I'll be here.
Alright. Down at Dante's Run Safe House, there's one item for sale here. It's a prototype performance mod, 5% support station healing speed. This is a max roll, so if you're running builds like Reclaimer or you like to use a support station in general, go ahead and pick a few of these up and throw them on your builds.
See you next time.
See you next week, buddy. At the Madison Stand Safe House, he's got one item for sale here, Inventive Backpack. Now, sadly, it is rolled to firearms. You can swap that into electronics because it does have almost 13,000 skill power, and you will have to keep the bleed resist in the minor attribute if you're going to roll the major firearms into electronics. But either way, if you really do need an Inventive Backpack, there's one for sale here.
No worries. Come back another time.
Will do. Alright, now making our way into the dark zone. That's everything for sale in the light zone at West 39th Street. He's got one item for sale. It is a prototype performance mod, 4% seeker mine damage. Once again, that is a max roll, so if you are using seekers with a tactician build, whatever the case is, I would go ahead and pick a few of these up while they're for sale. Up at West 46th Street now, he's got a prototype stamina mod for sale, which is really good. 263 stamina with over 3,000 skill power. If you don't have the blueprint, as I always say, go ahead and pick a few of these up, or even if you have bad luck with crafting and you need them, grab some while they're here.
You're not gonna find a lot of other options for this stuff.
Oh yeah? Okay. At the East 46th Street DZ checkpoint, I'm a little bit on the fence with this one, but for some people this could be helpful. 250 firearms on this prototype Firearms Mod with over 3,000 health. So again, for people that don't have the blueprint or they just don't have any good firearms mods with health on them, this will serve its spot until you get a better one with a higher firearms number. Alright, the final stop of the week is in DZ09 at the East 61st Street DZ checkpoint. T2 micro red dot, sight tan, 5.5% headshot damage, 3% crit hit chance, and 4% crit hit damage. The values could be a little bit higher, but honestly, they are not bad whatsoever. Fits on weapons like the House, Big Alejandro, the Showstopper, Bullfrog. The entire list is actually right here. So,
Thanks for nothing, asshole.
you guys are pricks in the dark zone. Anyways, alright. So that was everything we had for sale this week in the division. Hopefully there was something that you wanted and or needed. Either way, again, if the video was helpful, drop a like on it. It's very much appreciated. Don't forget that you could follow me on Twitter at AfflictedGamer, and the stream times for me to be live here on YouTube are at the end of the video. Good luck grinding out this global event over the weekend, agents, and I'll see you very soon in the next video or in the next live stream.